Hey, what's up guys? This week I am finishing up this custom metal privacy fence that I've been working on. Here is some footage of the bottom track. I got this stuff custom burnout and broke. Here is it put together. It come in a two-piece and I just tacked all them little tabs together. This is going to allow the water to drain out of this bottom track. And then here is a picture of the top track, also custom broke. It is, I believe, 11 gauge material that I used for both. Alright, here we are the next day. Kayla ordered a table saw. It's going to be a lot easier to rip these planks. But I got started here. Read up on my table saw because I've never actually used a table saw, I don't think, or if I have, it's been a long time ago. Anyways, read up on it, made sure I wouldn't do anything stupid. I drilled the holes in all these top tracks at my shop this morning, but I drilled them a little bit too small for the screws that I planned on using, and so I just had to go through. I figured it out the hard way. I come over here and I put a screw in here and it was hard to get on, so it twisted it off. But I got it pulled back out of there and drilled a little bit bigger of a hole in all my tracks. And now I've got these two sections done. It ought to go smooth sailing. That's the plan anyway, smooth sailing. Yeah, it looks good. I like the way that looks. I had Stillwater Steel shear me a plate to go in that gap. That way it just, closes that off for just tighter. That way it's a little better there. And yeah, it's looking good. So here's the one piece that I've ripped so far. Pretty dandy. Fixing to rip my other one. This one here was actually, didn't have to rip any, it fit perfect. And then I thought there was one other one in here. Well, this one here is pretty close too. Well, anyway, it don't matter, we'll figure it out. But I'm so excited to get this project done. So excited. I just want to see it all like this right here, all tightened up. Need to hang that gate today also. Yeah, we'll be ready to rock and roll. Alright, I was fixing to show y'all what I've been doing, and of course I would come up on this one that doesn't need one trimmed. I was looking for it earlier. Here it is. But boy, I'm gonna have to change that. I offset these tabs to one side, that way the boards can only go on one side of them. Then I find my piece, set it up here, slide it over, and just work my way down. Some sections are way worse than others. It all depends on how much these pickets are bowing. But goodness gracious, it looks nice. I mean, looks real nice. And the whole idea is hopefully no more than a person would have to change these out. Ought to work great. And then now I'm just taking a self-tapper, pushing this down, making sure it's down as far as it'll go, and then drilling my hole. Put one here and one on the other end. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, now we're on a section where we actually do have to trim one here. And I make sure they're all tight to one side. and I kind of make sure if there's a little gap, I don't worry so much about it, which I don't love that one, but they're hard to. Sometimes I'll do this number, I'll try to turn it and see what happens, but then it just puts the gap on the other side, which means this board is bowed. But that little gap, not too concerned with, so I'll probably just leave it. Put a little pressure on there, then I measure the bottom. Got about 4 5/8. Top we got 5 1/4. So my tendency is to taper it, because as a fabricator working with metal, like, you need it to fit like good so you can weld it. The best fit, the better. But with this wood, I've noticed, for one, I don't know if that table saw will actually do. Probably have to, put like a chalk line down this, measure one end, mark it, and the other end to mark it, and then run a chalk line and just manually do it. But I've actually noticed with these pickets, the first one that I did, I just measured the shortest length and it gave me enough play and it didn't look bad. So I've just been taking the tightest measurement and ripping it to the tightest measurement. So we'll just go with our tightest measurement, 4 3/4. And what did I say, 4 3/4? Just put it right on 4 3/4. Clamp that bad boy down. Grab me a picket. Sometimes I look down it, make sure look at that bow and that thing. Whew. Got some guys doing some masonry work down the way. Yeah, see, that one there's even got a little bit of one, but all right. Slide her right in there. Give her a little tap on the bottom if I need to. And then find our top channel and put it on. Here you have it, folks. All but the gate. I'm at a stopping point though, so I think I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to hang the gate. But I really want to hang it. Really, really want to hang it. What I really want to do is go home and build me a fence like this. Just looks so good. This is why I love building stuff. Love fabricating. Add in the wood. Oh my gosh, it's a whole nother ball game. Here is the gate. Here are the hinges that I chose to use for this gate. This gate is not very heavy at all. I was worried that it was going to be heavy for as long as I made it. It's a little over 5 foot long. But I did only end up using 2 of these teardrop hinges, some may call them. But I just liked the way it looked better. Didn't really need the 4 stacked like you just seen there. I did have to trim one side off because the 1" by 3" tubing I used on the gate is obviously only 1" wide, but I like the way it turned out. Looks good. Well, there we have it. Gate is hung. Now all we gotta do is bolt this piece of rec tubing to this house so this gate will have somewhere to latch. And I am rather pleased. I decided to go with just 2. I was gonna put 4, but I did for one. I just don't think it needed it. This is 3/16. This is 3/8 plate that I'm using for the hinges, and grade 8 1/2" bolt. Yeah, I just don't think it's necessary. I felt like I could get better quality of welds on either side of this hinge if I didn't put another hinge right up next to it and trying to weld in there, and it looks clean just like that. So yeah, buddy, and it'll only open to the inside because of this, the way this is hinged. But the nice thing is it can swing all the way to the inside. So after a whole bunch of research about whether to go into the brick or the mortar, after watching a video on Atlas brand of bolts, which is not the brand this is Simpson Strong Tie. Only reason being is because I could not find the Atlas brand locally, but these Simpson Strong Tie I was actually able to find at Lowe's. Work the same way. I don't know, whether they're just as good or not, but they worked real well. This brand of bolt is made to cut threads into the brick or whatever it is that you're going into. And as you see, there's a brick, an old brick, that I found in the dirt whenever I was building this fence, sitting on the trash can there, and I was able to test it on that, and I was able to hold it up against the bricks that I was going into on the house to see, I was able to test my bolt in several spots of that brick to see if it would crack or not, and everything went as planned. Everything went good. I marked my holes as you see me doing here. I drilled my pilot holes, and I put my bolts in. It worked real good. I did feel like I was taking a little bit of a risk because, traditionally your older concrete bolts or masonry bolts, a lot of them are made to expand, and therefore, you don't want to put that into the brick because it could crack your brick. But I was real glad that I found this style of bolt, and it worked well for me. Everything turned out good. A little bit about the rec tubing. I was able to prefab, I guess you could say, some of it at my shop. I took measurements of these bricks, like center to center, what they were. That way I made sure my holes lined up with the brick. So I'd done that, drilled the holes at my shop. I also capped the top and bottom of this rec tubing. For one, it looks a lot cleaner, but more importantly, or maybe equally as important, there's no holes for wasps to make a nest in during the summer. So the only thing that I did different with the bottom was I kind of mitered the bottom of this rec tubing, and that bottom cap I left about, on the 3" side, I left about a 3/16 gap. So in case water did get in these holes that I drilled, there'd be a place for water to escape. So turned out good. I like the way it turned out. The only thing I'd do different, and that I hope to do next time, is countersink these bolt heads and put a piece of pipe in there to where everything was sealed off. No moisture at all could get inside the tubing. but we'll try that on the next one. It just doesn't seem right because it's not welded. Life of a welder. Just can't beat the old molten glue. Look at there, boys. Shoot. Now it's latch time, baby. Finally, after a bunch of latch piddling, the gate is done. Next time I will think ahead on these, because see, to get a little weld on this pipe in here, I left that pipe a little bit long. I got a pipe running through here, that way if moisture gets, or that way moisture doesn't get inside the tubing. But anyway, yeah, I will think ahead and put these in at my shop, these little spacers, and this I will make longer next time. Next time I do something like that, I'll make this, because I had to weld right here. I'm not happy with this at all. I mean, it looks fine and it'll be fine, but I had to put together this little thing. Had to put a little tab back here because I couldn't get a weld in here, so I made me an angle situation so I could tack it there. And then one of these padlocks like this here will fit right in here. Ain't nobody getting in, ain't nobody getting out. Come on now. Come on now, boys. That's a wrap, folks. If you're new to the channel and you like these videos, make sure and subscribe. I sure appreciate it. I don't usually focus on the numbers because I don't think it's healthy, but we're almost to 100,000 subscribers, and we couldn't have done that without you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you're getting ready for the holiday season, go check out arosswelding.com for resources, tools, and many more things there on the website, as well as the Inner Circle. For those of you that have not heard, we have lowered the price on the Inner Circle. Everything's kind of gaining some traction over there. We're super excited and thankful for everybody that's giving it a chance. Also, if you've been wondering about these leather patch hats, they are back in stock now on the Industrial Tradition website. The links for both stores will be in the description. My advice for this week, or more or less what I learned through this project, actually comes from one of you who left it in the comments a couple of weeks ago, I believe, about trimming the pickets. If I could do it again, I would take this person's advice, which was trimming down several different pickets instead of measuring like I did. Like sometimes I had 2-inch wide pickets. To avoid that, I could have trimmed down 2 or 3 behind it and had like a 3 or 4-inch wide. And then the other one's been, you know, just, it wouldn't have been near as noticeable. It just would have been more seamless, and I like that idea. So I hope that helps somebody else. Thank you all for watching, and remember, learn something every day.